Hey guys, so in this video I'm on hackerrank.com, which is a coding website so you can practice your coding and your programming. They give you different problems to solve and you can choose your level of difficulty and your language that you want to code in. So here, this is called the diagonal difference problem. And it says, given a square matrix of size n by n, calculate the absolute difference between the sums of its diagonals. So the input format says the first line contains a single integer n, the next n lines denote the matrix's rows, with each line containing n space-separated integers describing the columns. The output, print the absolute difference between the two sums of the matrix's diagonals as a single integer. So here we have our simple input and it gives us the number 3. So we know this is going to be a 3 by 3 matrix. So it should be 3 rows and columns, and we see that here. And then what we want to do is find the difference of the diagonals. They say calculate the absolute difference between the sums of its diagonals. So that's what we want to do. So it outputs 15. And then here they explain how they got that value. Looks like they took the diagonal from left to right, so that's 11, then 5, and then negative 12. And it looks like they added it together to get the value 4, and then they took another diagonal from left or from right to left, and it's 4, 5, and 10, and added those together, so they get 19. And they took the difference, the absolute value of 4 minus 19, which is 15. Okay, so it doesn't sound too bad. Pretty interesting problem. So they've already set it up here, kind of. They're scanning in the value n, that's our matrix size. And then we're going to be, oh, they have a for our two-dimensional array. And they have two for loops, both running till n, as it should. Here, the array at index equals 0, and it increments by 1 each time. And here it's a underscore j equals 0. It runs n times, and then a underscore j increments by 1 each time. And then we're scanning in the contents of the array here, which is good. So let's see. If I think about this, the array values from left to right in this case is 0, 0, 1, 1, and then 2, 2. And if this was a 2 by 2 matrix, so if it was just if it was just the 11, the 2, the 4, and the 5, then the values would be 11 and 5, which are at position 0, 0, and 1, 1. So that's good. I'm starting to see a small pattern here. And if there's 4 values, then we just add on another value here. So we still have 11, we still have 5, we still have negative 12, but then we have a new position at 4, 4. So that tells me that the diagonal going from left to right, let's see, I'm going to create a variable. I'm going to call it left to right. And this is going to equal 0. And that's going to be one of our diagonals. And then let's create another variable. I'm going to call it right to left. It's going to equal 0. And it's going to be our second diagonal. So I'll call this diagonal number 1. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to just create a for loop here. It's going to run from integer I equals 0. I is going to be less than n, and then I is going to increment by 1. And inside here, I'm going to have my left to right is going to equal left to right plus the array at position I. So that should be all the diagonals from left to right. She gives all the values in the diagonal added together. And let's see, from right to left, let's set this equal to our array. Let's see. So left to right is different. This would be position 0, 2. This would be position 1, 1. This would be position 2, 0. If it was a 2 by 2, this would be position 0, 1. And then this diagonal here would be position 1, 0. So I could see a small pattern here. Let's see, A of n minus I. So if n is 3, so we could say 3 and I want position 0, right? So that would be I. And then I is going to keep increasing, so then this will become 3 minus 1, which is 2. And so 2 at position 1, 2, 1. So that's 0, 1, 1, 2. This is 2, 0. This is 1, 1. And this is position this is position 0, 2. This is position 1, 1. And this is position 2, 0. So maybe I actually want to subtract one more. And I think that should do it. Okay, so next up I want to take the absolute value. So I'm going to printf %d. And I'm going to use the function absolute. Actually, I'll create another variable. And I'll call it difference. And let's see here. We're going to take the difference of these two. So I'm going to take the absolute value of this variable here minus this variable here. And then semicolon, and then print our variable that we just created here. Print it right there. And semicolon. So let's see if this gives us our answer. So here I'm summing all of the digits from left to right, diagonal. And here I am summing all of the digits from right to left, diagonal. And then here I am getting the absolute value of the difference. So let's run the code. Hopefully I don't have any errors. Oh, perfect. Congratulations, you passed the sample test. Click the submit code button to run your code against all the tests. All right, submit. There's a lot of tests, 10. All right, I passed them all. So that's perfect. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Kind of hope you got my thought process there of how I solved it. This is actually considered to be a easy challenge. So, you know, it wasn't too bad. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I see you guys all in the next video.